News Channel 15 presents The Film Reel, the talk show where we discuss everything going on in the world of movies and television, with hosts Bryce West and John Freeland. This is The Film Reel. Hello and welcome into The Film Reel, your number one source for everything going on in the world of movies and television. I am your host, Bryce West, here with John Freeland for the final time here in 2020. This is our mid-season finale, as here at the college we will be going on extended break after Thanksgiving. So this is the last you'll be seeing from us in 2020, but it has definitely been a wild ride to get here, to say the least. But with that being said, we're going to jump straight into the box office results from last weekend. Coming in at number one, staying at number one, was Freaky, grossing $1.2 million at the box office, having a 64% drop there. Coming in at number two, it was actually number three last week, so it went up a spot, is a favorite of the show, The War with Grandpa. Coming in at number three, last week it was number two, Let Him Go. Number four, keeping its spot, was Come Play. And as we all predicted, number five is the Santa Claus. No, that was definitely kind of random. So the Santa Claus, well, it's November, so it's Christmas time, I guess. But yeah, the Santa Claus is in the top five in the box office. So, John, we were talking about this a little earlier today, but seems like the numbers this weekend were pretty terrible. Number one was only around $1.2 million and had a 64% drop. What are your thoughts on this major drop off here?
It's looking really bad because I'm assuming it's because it's coming up to Thanksgiving, so quarantine is happening like everywhere again, so they're closing all the theaters probably.
Yeah.
Or it's just people are traveling so they don't have time, but it is not looking good for them.
It's looking fairly bad, actually. This is definitely the worst I've seen it since the theaters have kind of come back into the swing of things. So it's not encouraging, definitely. We will have to wait and see. Obviously, we won't be doing the show at this time, unfortunately, unless we do some sort of special Christmas episode. But we will have to wait and see what Wonder Woman's effect on the box office will be, because Warner Brothers has come out and said that they will be releasing Wonder Woman 1984 in theaters as well as HBO Max on the same day. And so that is going to be the biggest blockbuster film that will come out into theaters since Tenet. So, it's going to be one of those deals to where Wonder Woman's going to probably come out and be number one for maybe as long as Tenet was. And so maybe we were talking about this earlier as well. We might even come back from winter break and Wonder Woman will still be number one. I doubt that anything will top it for a while there. So, we're talking about new releases here, and some breaking news that happened today. Maybe I'll just let the footage speak for itself here.
This holiday season, we're thankful for the pets whose love got us through the year. But next year, get ready to love even bigger.
I'm bringing those blue skies back forever.
Well, that's terrifying. They're making a Clifford the Big Red Dog. So it seems like they literally took a dog and color corrected it to be red, and that's what they did.
And supersized it.
And just enlarged it. Yeah. So it definitely doesn't look good. So, John, what are your thoughts on the look of Clifford the Big Red Dog coming to theaters here?
They didn't really show much.
Just the look of the dog in general.
It doesn't. I don't know, because like Clifford is just a cartoon show, and it's hard to.
I feel like they should have just went animated with it.
Yeah, or
like why? It just doesn't look good in live action.
Weird having a red dog.
Well, they just didn't really do much. I mean, I guess all they did was they took the dog, made it red, and then bada bing, bada boom, you got the Clifford the Big Red Dog. But
I mean, that's what
I feel like they should have just kept it animated. Like they should have just like done an animated film, like what you see with DreamWorks or Pixar or whatever, and just had that be the film. I don't know why we need a live action Clifford the Big Red Dog. It just right now it just seems like one of those things that just doesn't and shouldn't work in live action. Am I wrong here? Like
no, it does not look right. It does not look like it's gonna do well.
You never know these days.
Well, yeah, I guess it's a kid's show, so it probably will.
But I mean, yeah, it is definitely very, very weird to say the least. Moving on into some more movie news, a new Tom Holland film. He is definitely a rising star. Is going to be coming out, and we've got our first look here. Cherry. This is Tom Holland actually basically shaved all his hair off for this movie, and Tom Holland is playing an army medic with PTSD who becomes addicted to opioids and starts robbing banks to pay for his addiction. So this is definitely a much darker role for Tom Holland than we've seen in the past. He was just recently in a film, The Devil All the Time, which was a more darker role for him. But this is definitely a step off to the side from his usual like Spider-Man type role. So John, what are your thoughts on Tom Holland taking a darker role here?
First, I feel like every episode, we always have Tom Holland with a new movie.
He's a big star.
He seems like he's constantly working on new projects, which is good for the film business. And
well, it's good for the Tom Holland business too.
It's very true. When you think of Tom Holland, though, you don't think of somebody who's going to commit crimes to pay for an addiction.
You don't think dark character piece.
So
you think friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Or like happy in a cartoon show.
I think it is really cool to see him branch out though, because
I want to see how it does.
In The Devil All the Time, which we had showed the trailer on the show here, it was a much darker role once again, and he did a fairly good job in that role. So I am pretty confident that he's going to be able to pull this off. It's just interesting to see him take so many different roles, and he can do them.
Yeah.
So it is definitely a testament to his acting ability, to where he can be the 16-year-old friendly neighborhood Spider-Man whipping around New York, stopping bad guys, but then he can also be a drug-addicted army veteran who is robbing banks to
pay for his addiction,
to pay for his drugs. So. I think it definitely shows his incredible acting ability, and I can't wait to see what he does in that film. With that being said, we are going to take a quick break, and after this, we've got some TV news to discuss coming up.
News Channel 15, winner of the Intercollegiate Broadcasting System Award for the nation's best community college TV station.
It just takes a moment to spread from one person to another. So how do you break the germ cycle? Wash your hands often and always after coughing, sneezing, handling food, and going to the bathroom. Lather the front, back, and in between for at least 20 seconds. If there's no soap or water available, use a hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. Regularly disinfect common surfaces, including your phone. These small things can help break the germ cycle.
The tri-state source for alternative rock is 89.1 The Bash. Connect with us wherever you are on social.
Long coast gets swept away. It didn't used to be this way.
Listen live on our free mobile apps, online, or on TuneIn. Southern Illinois, we all know the weather can change in an instant. When severe weather strikes, you can count on the team at News Channel 15 to provide you the latest information to keep you and your family safe. From watches and warnings to storm spotter information with our direct link to the National Weather Service, the team at News Channel 15 is here to give you the most up-to-the-minute severe weather coverage, not only on air but also online and on our Facebook page. News Channel 15, putting Southern Illinois first.
Welcome back into the film reel. Before the break, we took a look at Clifford the Big Red Dog, and we decided that it looked pretty terrible. However, something that does not look terrible, let's take a look at this. The Starfire costume from Titans Season 3. Holy smokes, would you look at that. The Titans costume department has definitely upped the ante here, because it looks like they have taken this straight out of the comic books, and look at that. That is an amazing looking costume. Maybe with the switch to HBO Max, they upped the budget or something. But John, what are your thoughts on this? I think this looks incredible.
It looks really good, and like wow, like
yeah. I mean, I like
with the.
Go ahead.
I don't know. This is like they upgraded a lot with like of their costumes.
Oh yeah,
they've increased. I'm guessing they got their budget increased with swapping, but like.
Yeah, I mean, well, with this season, it is going to take a much more. A much bigger focus with Starfire, and her sister Blackfire is going to be one of the main villains there.
I like how they're going like more into the comics, like making it look closer and closer.
Yeah, and
I think that's what most shows should do.
I feel like this costume upgrade definitely is probably because of her bigger focus in this next season, obviously, because there's going to be the whole Starfire versus Blackfire arc. So that's definitely going to be really cool to see. And a while back we showed the Red Hood costume, and that again, like, it looks like it came straight from the comics. So I think it's really cool to see these new TV superhero properties actually take liberties from the comics and not feel the need to make everything like dark and toned down. Like the purple, the green, and the gold in that costume. I mean, it made it look like it was from a Titans comic book.
Yeah, and the Red Hood one, like it's red, like it's actually red instead of just like really dark maroon.
like a really dark like maroon
like,
or something. Like they actually have brightened out the colors, and you can have bright colors on a costume
and still have like a darker show.
Yes,
if you want, but.
Because I mean, Red Hood. I mean. You're probably not going to get much darker than that. I'm thinking he's probably going to be pretty brutal in this next season, and so I'm glad to see that they haven't just completely washed out his costume. I mean, don't get me wrong, his costume is already pretty dark regardless, but I'm glad the helmet is a bright, vibrant red and not just a toned out maroon. And then Starfire's costume is a bright like boom out there purple, and so it really catches your eye, and I feel like that's what these comic book costumes should be, because I feel like we had gotten into the tradition to where like it needs to be like super dark and we can't have these bright colors. But I think Aquaman showed that you can have I mean, don't get me wrong, Aquaman was a sillier movie, but you can take yourself seriously while also taking those comic book accurate costumes out there, because I mean the costume in Aquaman was another example of it just looked like it just came straight out of the comics. So I mean, yeah, that Starfire costume just gets me even more excited for Titans.
I feel like they're
3.
learning from like the Justice League, because like with the Flash's suit and that just did not like fit his character.
It looked like
mechie, like
and I think that's kind of the style they were going for, because they wanted to make it really look like that he made the costume himself by scratch, and he like hand put it together. So I think that was more of a stylistic choice. I kind of like it, but I do kind of prefer a look like the Flash from like the TV show or something. So it is. I do definitely enjoy seeing more comic book accurate costumes in these superhero properties. Moving on into, believe it or not, some Jeopardy news. Ken Jennings has been named the interim host of Jeopardy, replacing the late Alec Trebek. He will start appearing in episodes, I believe, this December. Jennings being a very popular winner and just player in general of the show, so he definitely knows what he's talking about. John, what do you think about seeing this transition from Alex Trebek? Do you think somebody like Jennings is going to be here to stay, or do you think they're going to find more of a celebrity type role to permanently replace Trebek?
It's sad to talk about, but I think he does have the chance to stay, because like the original host wasn't like super famous before he came to Jeopardy.
Right.
And so you don't need a big Hollywood actor or a celebrity to host a show. And so I feel like if he does a good enough job, like it will.
Well, yeah, and he's definitely going to know what he's talking about, like I said, because he absolutely was just dominant in Jeopardy whenever he was a player. So he's going to know what he's talking about there, and it'll be interesting to see this transition from, because I mean Trebek, he hosted the show for forever, and now we're seeing the transition now, and it's unfortunate, but we knew that the show was going to go on past Trebek, and I know that's what he wanted. He expressed as such. So it'll be really cool to see what Jennings brings to the role, and maybe he'll take it on full time. We will just have to wait and see. With that being said, we are going to take another break, and after this, Alec Vaughn has his top 5 Pixar movies coming up.
At First National Bank, we are committed to providing our customers with superior customer service. Whether in person or over the phone, our goal is to provide a positive customer experience each and every day. Give us a call or stop in one of our local branches today.
No matter what your favorite show is, News Channel 15 has you covered. Now available on Roku and Apple TV smart devices.
The tri-state source for alternative rock is 89.1 The Bash. Connect with us wherever you are on social.
All our ghosts get swept away. It didn't used to be this way.
Listen live on our free mobile apps, online, or on TuneIn.
Now, more of the Film Reel with Alec Vaughn.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Film Reel here on News Channel 15. And today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 favorite Pixar movies. But before I want to get into that, this is the last time I'm going to be on the Film Reel for a while, because we're going on Thanksgiving break and we're all going to be on remote learning. So this is the last time you're going to see me in a while, but it's going to be a good one. Alright, but without further ado, we'll get started on the list. Alright, at number 5, I have Finding Nemo. This story focuses on a clownfish who goes all the way across the ocean to Sydney, Australia to find his little boy Nemo, who's a disabled clownfish with one tiny flipper arm. And he's going all across the ocean with another fish named Dory, and together they make a really good friendship. And they eventually find Dory and they live happily ever after. And at number 4, I have Monsters, Inc. This movie follows 2 monsters who are roommates together who work at the Monsters Incorporation, which is the corporation of monsters who scare little children in order to get electricity. And this movie is really heartfelt because it focuses a lot on monsters, and it focuses that they have feelings too, just like humans and little children do. And at number 3, I have The Incredibles. This is one of my favorite action-packed Pixar movies. This movie focuses on a family of superheroes who each have their own powers, and they fight crime and evil against Syndrome, who was a former fan of Mr. Incredible but turned evil because he let him down. And so ever since then, he fell apart, and he's trying to get revenge on Mr. Incredible, and it's really fun. You should go watch it. And at number 2, I have Toy Story 1 and 2, a tie. These two are my favorite Toy Story movies, and the first one really set the bars high because it was one of the first ever CGI cartoon movies, and that really set the bars high for cartoon movies and how they should be made. And they're really good. They're really fun films. They really give you a connection about little toys, about how much they meant to you when you were little. And at number 1, I have Cars. This movie focuses on Lightning McQueen, who accidentally gets left behind by his friend Mac, who accidentally leaves him by mistake. And so he ends up in this. So Lightning McQueen ends up in this little town called Radiator Springs, and he learns a lot from small town life about how one time a community becomes so thriving and the other it could be really slow. And the movie's really heartfelt. It shows that winning isn't always everything, you could say. But anyway, you should go watch it. And that's going to do it for me here at the Film Reel. I'm Alec Vaughn. I'll see you next time.
Thank you, as always, Alec, for your help throughout this 2021 part of the Film Reel. We're going to take another break, and after this, we've got a first look trailer at The Boss Baby 2. After this.
News Channel 15, winner of the Intercollegiate Broadcasting System Award for the nation's best community college TV station.
It just takes a moment to spread from one person to another. So how do you break the germ cycle? Wash your hands often and always after coughing, sneezing, handling food, and going to the bathroom. Lather the front, back, and in between for at least 20 seconds. If there's no soap or water available, use a hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. Regularly disinfect common surfaces, including your phone. These small things can help break the germ cycle.
The Tri-State source for alternative rock is 89.1 The Bash. Connect with us wherever you are on social.
All ghosts get swept away. It didn't used to be this way.
Listen live on our free mobile apps, online, or on TuneIn.